Hi everybody, this is Chad the Gaming Dad here on Dad's Games, and it's that time of year again. Summer's just about to start, and here in Ohio, flea market season is starting up again. The biggest day of the year usually is the one we just went to on Memorial Day. So let's go on out and see what we found. There was tons and tons of vendors out there, lots of shoppers. We thought we got there early, but not early enough apparently, but we still found a lot of good stuff. So today it's going to be me and my friend Cawzy, and then also my son Benjamin, little guy. He's starting to go hunting for games with me too. So let's head on out and see what we found.
That's a game. Yeah, put that down.
Okay, everybody, it feels good. We're back out here at the flea market again. So first things first, I got to stop off at my favorite reseller. And wow, look at all the stuff we're getting from this guy.
Sure. Just because it looks like something I don't know.
I got a whole bunch of NES games, and Cawzy grabbed a whole bunch of stuff, and he even got the first time buyer deal, $20, and he got all those NES games and a couple of Atari games too. Good deal.
It's pretty nice. Yeah.
So today when the flea market is super busy like this, you're not just going to get resellers, but you're going to get other guys that are a little bit smaller resellers, just starting out, as well as people who are cleaning out their attic. Hopefully there's a lot of those, because that's where you find the real deals. But these guys that are the newer resellers, they have some great stuff too.
What's the deal with Krusty's Super Fun House?
This guy here was the best small reseller that we saw all day, with great deals like these two N64 games I got for just $5. Now the other resellers that have been around a while, not my favorite reseller and not the small guys, but we're talking about the other guys that are out here too. They have some good stuff, don't get me wrong, they do have good games and they have good stuff, but it's not going to come cheap. It's not the best deal ever. They might have something that you've been looking for, something that's hard to find, but if you get it from them, you are going to have to pay. We even came across a couple of complete in-box consoles, one NES and one Nintendo 64. They weren't cheap, but hey, if you're looking for one, here it is. This was a good stop for us because Cawzy never had the original Ninja Turtles game for the NES. You know, the hard one with the sewers and all that. He got it for $5 here. It's not too bad of a price.
Look at that. Get the fishing controller, huh? What's that? Oh, $20 for the whole PlayStation? Yeah. Anything in it? Yeah, MLB 2000. There's always something in it.
All right, and here's something that I saw a lot. I've seen some things at conventions where people are making reproduction carts of the most expensive and the most rare NES games. But when they sell them, they really need to let you know up front, this is a reproduction, it's not the real thing. Because they're still trying to sell these things for like $70 or $80. Sometimes maybe a little bit less, but they're really pretty expensive. So out here at the flea market, we didn't find just one, but we actually found two Flintstones Dinosaur Peak for the NES within like 5 minutes at two different places. Take a look at this. Here's a signed poster, signed by Arnold Schwarzenegger on this Terminator poster. How do you know that's real? Same thing. Take a look at the label and see how where it's printed. It's kind of fuzzy around the edges and not crisp like the NES cartridges that you have that are real. I mean, who knows if the game's even in this thing? So we shop around and we didn't see just games today, but we got lots of old toys. I mean, check out these huge G.I. Joe sets. Those things are super cool. And I love this old style iMac.
You like that computer, Ben?
Man, am I glad I grew up with video games, but this old mini pinball table is super cool. This thing looked like it was a lot of fun back when it was working in its prime. Would you take a look at this beauty? Wow, what a ride. You can get your very own car right here at the flea market today, complete with all the wear and tear you could ever want.
When I was a kid, That was the bike that I got when I was like 6.
Oh yeah?
And here's a great example of why you love to go to the flea market, not just for video games, because, you know, one of the big reasons we love our retro games is that they take us back to our childhood, make us feel like a kid again. You know, well, when I saw this, I was hit with a tidal wave of nostalgia. This is my old bike. I had one exactly like this, and I remember it so well because I begged and I talked about this bike over and over again until I got it back when I was a kid. I mean, check it out, the mag wheels, the awesome 80s BMX style. I even had to grab the handlebar just to feel it one more time. That was cool. I'm also finding a lot of discs today. You know, disc-based games that don't have a box. They're either all by themselves or in one of those like CD sleeve things. I don't like those very much. Retro games are pretty safe because they're sturdy and durable, and you can clean them and just about get all of them to work. I've only ever had a couple that wouldn't work, but man, do I steer clear of the loose disc games. I mean, it's bad enough to buy one that's complete in a box. You still got to be careful that it's not scratched up, but finding them loose like this, no way.
Here, hang on.
Bring
Come here,
him, man.
Ben.
He's watching.
Yeah.
Tilt it the other way so we can.
Strolling through the flea market, you'll also get hit by a bunch of flea market pitchmen. I mean, Billy Mays would be impressed, right? This guy has the cleaner that cleans it all.
Your stove, your counters, your walls.
I sat there and watched this guy, and I even got involved, and he cleaned one side of my shoe. You know, nice job. It's really clean, but now I have to buy his cleaner because otherwise I'm going to have a shoe with one clean side.
Put your foot on the ground. Look at the difference in your shoe.
Yeah. So how much is it?
I'm going to give you a deal. I'm going to give you a flea market deal.
Okay.
So as we were wrapping up, we're walking back to the car. I missed this, but later on when I'm looking at the video, take a look. Is this a wooden DDR pad? Somebody actually built a wooden DDR pad? That's crazy. So off we go. We leave the flea market, and unlike this guy here, we were definitely not empty-handed. So alright everybody, as you can see, we didn't do too bad. We picked out a lot of good stuff. Cawzy got a couple of things that he'd been looking for, and I actually like going to the flea market with people that are just starting their collection because I have a lot of the games that I've been looking for. I've found a lot of them, and now at this point I'm just getting kind of oddball ones, things here and there that interest me, whatever. But most of the ones that I really wanted, I've already got. But it's cool because I can help him find some things that he doesn't have yet that, you know, it's like finding them all over again. It's like getting to go shopping twice. It's really fun. But there was one thing that I was definitely looking for that I look for everywhere I go. And it's pretty rare to find. I don't know why it's not more expensive, but it really isn't. And it's this right here. The NES Advantage. That's right. Oh man, I've never had one of these. I never even touched one, never even played one. But I saw this sitting on the guy's table and I just knew that I had to go over there and see if I could grab this one. And he really didn't want a ton of money for it. He only wanted like 15, which wasn't bad, but I still tried to, you know, bundle in a game anyway, just for good measure, right? You got to get something else out of it. So I bring this home. The NES Advantage, this thing is really clean. I mean, look at the back of it and everything. I mean, it looks almost new. It's really cool. Tried it out. It's got these huge buttons on it and everything. You can't go wrong with this. I mean, this is so cool. Now, I already have the NES Max. I got this right here. I don't have a dog bone. I'm looking for a dog bone, but they're pretty expensive. But I have this one, and this one's good for a lot of shoot 'em ups because it's got the turbo buttons right there. You know, things like Silver Surfer and, gosh, all those Gradius, anything where you're flying and shooting and you have to hit the button a million times. I call those games like Carpal Tunnel, the game, because all you're going to get is a sore hand from playing those things too much. You got to have the turbo button. But the advantage that the NES Advantage has is that their turbo buttons on here, you can turn them on and off with these buttons, whether you want turbo to be active or not. But then you also got these right here. You can see them. You could turn the turbo up or down. And you might be asking yourself, well, why would you want slow turbo? Well, some games, when you play them, if you've noticed, they'll only let maybe 2 or 3 bullets on the screen at any given time. So if you turn this all the way up and you crank it all the way up, and you hit the button, it's going to be like, boop, 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 and all the bullets will come out right away. And then you have to wait for them to fly across the screen before it'll let you shoot 3 more. So you do this, you turn it down to like medium, and it just goes boop, 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 and there's never 3 of them on the screen at the same time, so it's like a constant shot, so you can fly around and aim, and it's awesome. It's really cool. And then there's also a button on here for slow. You hit that button, and it basically just hits the pause button on and off real fast, but it makes everything go slower so that you can hit those precise movements you need in some of those shoot 'em up games. And I keep saying shoot 'em up games because playing Mario or something like a platformer with this, I don't think I'd be very good at that, honestly. I think that this one is more for me to play shooters, and stuff like this or the traditional Nintendo controller, I think I'm going to stick with those for all the other games. But man, it's so cool to finally have one of these, and one that's in such great condition and works, and I can't wait to play more games with it. It is really cool. And honestly, I mean, it's pretty heavy. It's got some weight to it. This one still has the nice gripper feet on the bottom so that it doesn't slide around on your table. The other weird thing to note about this is that at the end of this long cord, you see we've got 2 of them. This thing actually takes up both of the ports. So if you're going to play a 2-player game, you couldn't play like Tecmo Bowl or something with this controller because it takes up both of the ports. So you'd have to have 2-player games where you take turns to use this. And then also the one with the white, you see how the cords have like a white stripe on this one, and the other side is just all black. I believe the white stripe is player 1. I might be wrong, it might be the other way around, but definitely check that out when you plug it in, that you're using player 1 in the player 1, because when you hit the switch on here to switch it from player 1 to 2, it needs to be in the correct port. Alright everybody, so that's everything we have for you here on the Misadventures of the Flea Market today. So, till next time, remember, you never outgrow video games. My name is Chad the Gaming Dad, and this is Dad's Games. Thank you for watching, and so long everybody.